Hello, beautiful people. Hello, YouTube. So I'm going to record my bonus episode live. If you've never been in my YouTube before, my name is Celeste. I'm a therapist. I do these bonus episodes on podcast. I'm streaming on every podcasting platform, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, iTunes, everywhere. Type in Celeste the Therapist and it'll come up. The goal behind my podcast is to just help you shift the way you think. So today I'm going to be talking about nourishing your soul. Hey, Maurice, what's up? I'm about to go live really quick right now. So let me go live. So I'm going to go live on my podcast. So I'm about to record the podcast really quick. I'm glad I caught you. I'm glad you caught me too. I haven't seen you in a long time. But hold on, I'm going to start. I'm going to record the episode. So these are the bonus episodes that drop every single Wednesday. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining another episode of Celeste the Therapist Podcast. My name is Celeste and I'm a therapist from Boston. If you've never been in here before, thank you so much for being in here. So I've been podcasting since July 2018. And I say it every time because I always have new listeners. So I just want people to know. And I've had 2 seasons. And on my seasons of my podcast, I have somebody on that's doing something to empower the lives of others. And the goal behind that is to just help people shift the way they think. A lot of times we get so stuck in the way that we think that we struggle with getting out. And so my goal is to share other people's stories so that people can understand that they're not alone in the struggle. Also, if you're in Boston, I am having a season 3 kickoff party, November the 30th. It's a free event. So I'm excited about that. So the link will be in the show notes. So if you want to go to that event, I'm excited about that because I can't believe I'm going to be in season 3. I'm so excited. So today, what are we talking about? If you've never been in here on a Wednesday, we talk about issues we struggle with, and then I bring up these solutions and ways that we can deal with it. So I want to talk about this idea of, are you feeding your soul? And so a lot of times we end up feeling unfulfilled, or we feel stuck in life and we can't figure out why. I know if I ask y'all to think about that, y'all be like, yeah, that's me. I feel stuck or I feel unfulfilled, right? So that unfulfilling feeling or that stuck feeling is a feeling that you can't literally see. I can't see that I'm stuck, right? But I can feel stuck, right? And so I guess the question I want you to think about is that when you wake up in the morning and you feel hungry, do you ever question why am I feeling hungry? Right? You be like, I'm hungry. I know I'm feeling hungry because I haven't eaten anything. Nourishing your mind is a foreign concept for most people. Absolutely. So I'm recording this live on YouTube. Yes, it's a foreign concept for people to understand. And so when you think about your body, you actually will feed your body. You'll go to the kitchen, you'll find something to eat, and you'll feed your body. We do that well. There's no thought process behind it. It's we blink our eyes, we go eat, right? The way we blink our eyes, we don't think about blinking our eyes, we just blink our eyes. When we're hungry for food, we will go to the kitchen and we will grab something to eat. When our soul is starving, when our mind is starving, we don't really say well, what have I done for myself lately? Or how am I nourishing my soul? Or how am I feeding my soul? We never question it. We just stay stuck, right? And I would never just stay hungry. I would never be I'm mad hungry, but not do anything about it because we can see it. And if you've ever been into any of my videos or my podcast, you know that I'm really big on analogies. And I've found that analogies can actually help us really understand things in a different way because we get so stuck when we can't see it, right? So for instance, if I broke my leg and I was supposed to run a marathon, I won't be dang, I can't run a marathon. We'll be oh, I can't run a marathon because I broke my leg. So some of us get stuck in so much trauma. We have so much baggage that we haven't processed, but it's happening. Even if we're not processing it, our mind and our body will keep the score. So our mind and body remembers what's happening, regardless of if we want to stuff it down. And so all of this stuff that we've gone through, we haven't made the connection and we've allowed it to just take over ourselves. And so it's so important to really understand what's happening and making the connection. And one of the things I wanted to say, because some people may say to themselves, like, life has gotten in the way. It's been hard for me to nourish my soul. It's been hard for me to nourish my spirit. And if we use the same example of food, sometimes we'll get sick and like food sick or whatever, and it's hard for us to eat. So little by little, we'll probably eat some soup, eat some bread, eat some crackers. Little by little, we'll work on ourselves to gain the strength so that we can get back to eating a complete meal. And so if you're somebody that feels like, like life has gotten in the way, or if I've allowed life to get in the way and I can't get back to the full meal, I can't get back to fully nourishing my soul, because some people are stuck in the fact that they're not where they want to be, or maybe they were at a certain place at one point and they can't get themselves back. So if you're somebody that's thinking this way, I want you to think about it as if you were sick and trying to nourish your belly, and like little by little, right? Little by little, daily things are going to get you back to where you want to be, or where you could be. So one of the things that I not only talk about problems, but I also talk about solutions. I'm very solution oriented, because I realize that a lot of the ways in which we struggle are ways that we can't literally see. But if we actually take time to pause, we can actually look at our life and look at the way that we've been living it, and can see how the ways that we haven't been dealing with our struggle is manifesting in our life. But it requires us to be very intentional about that process. So I just have these 4 things I want you to think about. So if you're saying like, what, Celeste, that makes sense. I hear you. And I want to like really start to work through it. So number 1, I want you to work on identifying what you are doing to feed your soul. Like, what am I doing to feed my soul, right? And some people may say, like, I'm not doing anything, right? I don't think I'm doing anything. And so what are you doing? Like, are you partying? Are you drinking? Are you shopping? Are you in these like multiple relationships? Like, those kind of things are actually feeding your soul, but it's not feeding it with nothing positive. It's not feeding your spirit with nothing positive when that's all that you're doing. All of the things that I just identified are not bad things, but I know that when we are doing those things to the point where it becomes our coping mechanism, then it ends up being not good for us, right? Like, some things are just not good for certain people. There are some people that drink and they're fine, and there are some people that cannot drink and they have to go to AA. Apples are good for you. As last I checked, fruit is good for you. I can't eat apples because my gums itch. But I have to be able to know and identify that that's not good for me, right? So that's one thing, is identifying what am I doing to feed my soul, right? And then number 2, what are some positive systems I can set up? So after I've been able to like identify what I've been doing to feed my soul, then I have to understand, what can I do to feed my soul? Like, what positive things can I do? If you Google positive coping mechanisms or positive coping strategies, you'll see a whole slew of different free things that you can do and implement into your life. And so it requires you to get on a system, right? Our stomach saying that it's hungry or like growling, it kind of is a trigger for us to understand that we're hungry, right? Like, I need food. What kind of triggers or what kind of things can help you understand that you need to fill your soul, right? So when you create a system in your life where you're doing certain things, whether you're in a good mood or not, because some of us only are able to like really do things when we are feeling good, but when we're not feeling our best, we tend to not do those things, right? So I need to create a system where I'm doing things whether I want to or not. Every day we eat, right? That's what we do every day, because we need to fill our stomach, right? With our mind and with us feeling stuck, like we don't do things to fill our spirit. So that's number 2. After you've identified like a positive positive healthy coping strategy or strategies that you can use, and identify those systems, it's so important to be consistent. Like, I can't stress that enough. The consistency is huge. I say this all the time. When we go to work in the morning, we don't hope and pray that we wake up. We are consistent with getting up for work on time, because we have to get paid to pay our bills. And that's a literal thing that we deal with, and we'll set that alarm. So after I've identified that I've been doing these like unhealthy ways of coping, and I've identified a new system, it's important for me to be intentional about the way that I am actually functioning, right? That's important to do. So if I'm able to be consistent, it'll become a part of my spirit. Well, I'll understand that, that stomach hunger you get, literally, like my spirit starts to feel uneasy when I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, right? There's something that triggers in my spirit that lets me know, like, Celeste, you need to get back on track. It's not that I'm always on track, but I can tell when I'm not on track. And most of us don't even understand when we're not on track. So that's important. The last thing I want to say about this is that to understand that this is a journey. So even though I've said some things that may have triggered you to like thinking about your life or thinking about yourself, especially when it comes to the analogy, you may find yourself being compelled to want to make those changes right away. But it's so important to understand, like, it's going to take some time to get to where you want to be because you're building a system and it's not going to happen overnight. So you have to be like so patient with yourself. You have to give yourself some grace. You have to be kind to yourself. If you're somebody that is like always rooting for other people, I need you to ask yourself, like, would I say this to somebody else? Like, would I tell somebody else that, hey, it's okay to not do anything. Oh, you're feeling unfulfilled. All right, just stay unfulfilled. Because we literally do that, right? We literally stay unfulfilled when we don't do anything to help ourselves. So it's so important to do that. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this makes sense. Don't forget, like, if you want to catch these bonus podcast episodes live on YouTube, all you got to do is subscribe to YouTube and you'll get an update on when I am going to be recording live. Hey, how are you? You're going to get an update when I'm recording live, and you can find the links to all my social media. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope. If you're on Life Management Tribe, shout out to you. Life Management Tribe, another dope website that's all about positive. It's a lot of positivity. I'll put that link in the show notes as well. Life Management Tribe, a really good positive social network that helps you like enhance and work on you, all areas of you. We have so many areas of us that we can work on, and that's kind of what it does. So thank you guys so much for being in here. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later. All right. So I just recorded the episode LMT. I know. I just recorded the podcast live. I said, hey, when you came in, I was like, oh, let me shout out LMT. So thank you guys for popping in. And I hope this topic was helpful. I wanted to say, I don't want this to be the last time that you like hear it or do something about it. Like, listening to like positive things are really dope, but actually the action piece is like the next step that can really help you change the way things are going. Because, I tell people all the time, you can buy all the workshops you want. You can pay for all these different gadgets and things that can help enhance our lives. But that doesn't matter if we don't use it, right? Like, that doesn't matter if we don't use it. The part that matters is if we take that information and create action, right? Like, there's so many free things, like YouTube. This thing right that you're on right now is free, and we'll in and hear this stuff, and then it feels good in the moment, but then after that, like, nothing happens. And so, like, that's the biggest barrier to us like getting unstuck, is the action piece. And so, like, I'm so big on like identifying we can actually like work on ourselves. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because I realize like the action piece is the part that like keeps us in this like funk and this space that we're on. So thank you guys. If you like the video, make sure you share it with your friends, share it with somebody that can help themselves. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate you guys for being in here live. I'm trying. I was on YouTube for so long, and I'm like retrying it again. So I'm excited to be back in here. So I will talk to you guys later.